a couple of the ones that come from Colombia. Simultaneously, you have this military buildup going on in the Caribbean that seems to be targeted at the Venezuelan government.
Yeah.
And it seems as if Trump's administration is intimately linking the government of Venezuela to the drug cartels that they claim to be targeting. Now, Bush did the same thing following September 11th with the Taliban, but is the Trump administration sort of doing this preemptively unique? Is this new in your continuum, or is it something that you saw happening before?
That's a good point. Yeah, particularly linking Taliban and Al Qaeda with, is it the same? Is it the same kind of relationship as the Maduro government and the drug cartels in Venezuela? There might be something to that. I think this notion of I was just reading about this in the New York Times today. The Cartel de los Soles isn't necessarily an actual organization. It's just a term that people in Venezuela use to refer to to military individuals or government individuals in Venezuela who happen to be mixed in with drug cartels. It's not that they're necessarily a hand-in-glove kind of thing. What I'm still trying to figure out here, at least how this compares to the studies in my book, is that the Venezuela case, I think on the one hand, you see this merging of the war on terror with the war on drugs going on here. At the same time, with the big military buildup off of Venezuela to put pressure on the Maduro government, this is also another aspect of American foreign policy of gunboat diplomacy, of stationing gunboats offshore someplace just to kind of, okay, we're here, just in case you come back. That kind of thing. That's basically gunboat diplomacy. That's also going on to try to get Maduro out. To what end? Is it just to get at Venezuelan oil? I don't know. Or minerals? Is that it? Is it to get rid of a socialist-leaning government in the Western Hemisphere? Is that the reason? I'm not quite sure. I haven't heard anything coherently articulated from the Trump administration. Unlike with the Bush administration with the war in Iraq 20 years ago, this was, at least publicly, this is about weapons of mass destruction. This is about bringing freedom and democracy to Iraqis. I don't think it was necessarily the right approach, obviously, 20 years ago in Iraq, but at least there was some kind of coherent narrative against Saddam Hussein 20 years ago that I'm not quite hearing against Maduro in 2025. So yeah, I think we're still trying to figure this out, and it's going to be a while, I think, before we get documents to tell us, here's what the Trump administration was really thinking, and all this kind of interviews that come out later. It's going to be a while. This is still, for a historian to try to understand contemporary events, it can be a little harrowing because as historians we like to try to take the bigger look, take the bigger picture in. But when something's coming at you real quick, it's hard to do a quick analysis. And the more sources that come out on things, you can certainly learn more on. But I hope that kind of gets to your question. I'm sure we'll talk more. We'll talk more in the office. Yeah, for sure.
One more question and
Yeah.
we'll wrap it up. There's one more question.
Yes.
I was wondering if you think that maybe in the future, America specifically, will maybe start using terrorism as maybe a tool to get at things that are technically against international law. Basically claiming people are using terrorism or something like that when they're technically not being evil, say, toward America, but it's just they're kind of in the way of America getting to something.
Oh, so calling somebody a terrorist in order to justify getting them out of the way? Yeah, I think that happens.
Already?
Yeah, I think that's always happened again, and this isn't just unique to the United States. I'll come back. So Austin, I know you asked me a question that I still couldn't get quite a handle on, but it calls to mind the Ukraine war. One of Putin's justifications for attacking the Ukraine back in 2022 was that there were a whole bunch of Nazis there. who were, or neo-Nazis who were going to threaten Russia. Is that really the case? No. But it was used to use the term to call opponents Nazis. It was a way to justify going in and invading Ukraine. And so I think that kind of terminology is used to justify all sorts of things. That's what I have here in the book. This is something that's going on. So Austin, I could finally answer your question. I came up with an example to get at your question, but I think that speaks to it.
Well, thank you very much. We are selling the books, so please, and there'll be an opportunity to, we gave away some, so the people that we gave away, you can have
Get one.
a signed copy. All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.